thing. So through that only an amount can be transferred from one account to the another account. All live data, everything can depends only on the OLTP. So out of that, today we are going to discuss the concept called as how the fund can be transferred between the account A to B in terms of case studies. So consider this thing. We are having two accounts. One is the account A and the one is the account B. So now we are going to transfer the amount 5,000 from Ali's account to the Bob account. So out of this thing, we already discussed in the class. We are going to use only a two concepts. One thing is we have to debit the amount from account A and we are going to credit the same amount to the account B. So this process only is going to be taken place between over here. So for that I have given a steps how the transaction can be taken place. So that is the first we have to read the Ali's account. After reading that thing we have to debit the amount from that particular account. Here we have given the condition the case study. We are going to debit the 5,000. So here it can be subtracted over here from the account of A. That is the data items. Here after debited amount, that particular final amount we have to update in that particular account. So after that, after debiting the thing, we have to credit that particular amount in my another account. Because here we are going to transfer the amount from one account to the another account. So we have to read the B account. Here AB is nothing but your data items. So again we are going to transfer the 5,000 to be my second account. So next we are going to write the thing. For example, if B can contain 10,000. After B, how much the amount will be in the B? 15,000. So that particular amount have to be updated in the account. So if I have doesn't credit the amount, but the debit is there. So whether it is a consistent or inconsistent? Definitely it will be a inconsistent because after debiting only we have to credit that particular amount. That particular each and every transaction law we have to transfer the thing. So what type of a transaction has been taken place, that to be must be available in the transaction law. Each and every transaction law. Similarly, so here how we are ensuring that thing this to be happened or not means only based on the asset properties. So because why I am saying this thing means either the action must be taken place or the action should not be taken. If I want to transfer the amount intermediately, if it is stay back, so it doesn't update anything, means it is a loss of amount. Am I right or wrong? So through that only we have to satisfy the asset property. So what do you mean by asset? A for? C for? I for? D for? Durability. Do you have any doubt in this thing? So we already discussed this thing. So atomicity means either it must be happen, it does not happen. Is it right? That two conditions must be checked in the atomicity. Consistency means wherever doing whatever the transaction, definitely it must be updated in my log of transaction. So the third thing is the durability. Durability is nothing but the lifetime of that particular transaction. So the next thing is the how. What are the problems may occur by transferring the amount from one to the another thing means these all the problem has been occurred. One thing is my transaction may be a completed one or otherwise my transaction may be an incompleted one. When in case it could be an incompleted one, that is amount can be debited from the Ali's account. Intermediately that may have a server problem. Either it may be a software error or it may be a hardware error or failure. Some disaster may taken place over that. Definitely it could be a loss of transaction. Anyway, it's supposed the durability. If the time expires, definitely your process has to be closed. So in real world, everyone we are saying you are transferring certain amount from one account to the another account. Intermediately you are having a server problem. Automatically you can get a notification called payment failure, unsuccessful. After this thing, automatically it will abort or roll back to your home page. It will not be keep the same link. Is it right? Have you noticed? ensure that allies does not have in allies account it can be debited certain amount, but it will not be credited to the Bob's account. So what could be the property can be used to check this particular thing?
Atomicity is the property. Atomicity ensures that all the steps in the transaction are completed successfully and or non-atom. If all the system crashes after debiting Alice's account but before crediting Bob's account. And atomicity ensures that entire transaction is rolled back so Alice does not lose the 5,000.
Okay, very good. What happens if the system crashes after the commit setup?
Since the commit statement is executed, the DBMS ensures that all the data are saved. Since the data is saved, there will be no data loss in the DBMS. This happens due to the durability in the DBMS.
Third thing is how the database can ensure the transaction is fully completed or not completed.
Now using the transaction management and logging. The database uses transaction log, that is write ahead logging, that is WAL. Before applying any changes to the database, it logs into the operation. If a failure occurs before commit, the undo operation restores the database to itself. If the transaction is completed, the read operation reapplies to the changes during application.
This thing, we well known that in each and every operation we are having a transaction log. So it is look like a minimal buffer like the thing. It will be automatically whatever the transaction can be taken place that could be updated over here. Here thing is after commit. Commit means a fully operation is completed. After that when server is problem over that means definitely check the transaction log. Through that the entry is made over that. Based on the thing it will either abort or roll back the thing. So through that we can able to make our database is a consistent one. The next thing is so how through the logs how we can recover the table.
Roles of logs in recovery. Roles of log in recovery. So log will be keeping track of every operations performed during the transaction, and it contains begin, update, commit, rollback entries. So if a crash occurs, roles of logs in recovery. So a log will be keeping track of every operations performed during a transaction. So it contains begin, update, commit, and or rollback entries. So if a crash occurs, so it will uncommitted transactions are rolled back using the log, that is undo. Then committed transactions are reapply, that is redo. And even if changes did not reach the test before the crash.
So see here, always in our log we are having an entry is like this. So while seeing the lamp itself we have seen PL bar SQL. Right or wrong? So how we can incorporate the high level language in our backend. So through that only we are going for the advanced SQL and the embedded and the dynamic SQL. So my transaction is begin. Here T1 is nothing but which transaction can be started. That could be noted over here. Here each and every statement we have to consider it to be a transaction. So through that I am going to set. Here I am going to update my data. Because why I am saying it is updated means already you are having a certain balance in my account. Through that we are going to debit the thing. So 5,000 can be subtracted from your account. Debited from your account. That could be updated over here. Again going to credit that particular account in your new account. That is a B's account, B's data item. So through that here also your update can be done for the A and B. So this update definitely could be occurred in our logs table. Through that we can able to easily recover back our data. If this is the final word, we are going to encounter all my transactions would be completed. So next thing is if the two funds can be transferred at the same time on the same data item, what could be happen? How the data is processed or not?
So
So basically, first of all, to will happen isolation and concurrency. So logging is ensuring only one transaction can access a data item and time. Serializability guarantees that concurrent transaction produce the small result as if it executes sequentially. Isolated level, red committed, serializability, etc. help avoid issue like dirty reads, non-repeatable reads, and phenomenal reads.
Because initially I said that a true transaction can be taken place at the same time. Am I right? Because a two-person can be used at the same data item. Same data item is nothing but your same account. So in this case, definitely as a concurrent problem may occur. Through that, there may have certain failure may occur. So because that could not be occurred in our real world entity, for that only we are using the concurrency control and the locking protocol. Locking protocol is nothing but either we have to use a shared lock or we are going to use the exclusive lock. Shared lock means we are going to use only can be used for read the data item, and also exclusive lock is through that we can able to do read as well as the write. Because in our transaction we are going to do only two operations. One is the read operation, another one is the write operation. So for that only we are setting the locking protocol. So this locking protocol it will have two types. One is the two-phase locking protocol, another one is the strict-phase locking protocol. So either the both can be used in the based on my applications. Second thing is why we are using a serializability means whether your transaction can be executed in the serialized manner or not. So before debiting the amount, we couldn't able to credit the amount. So first we have to debit the amount. First that particular process, particular transaction could be taken place. So for that, to avoid that thing only we are using the serializability. The next thing is the isolation level. Isolation is nothing but a different person can access the account from their different places. But it could be a concurrent, but it will be accessed from the multiple places. But it could be work independently without any interference of the another transaction. So for that only we are using the isolation. So the basically isolation itself we are having a three things. One is the dirty read should be avoidable, non-repeatable read that could be avoided. Also we have to avoid the pattern reads. So this could be avoided if you are following the type of